So we were looking all over the world for Bob Marley. Primarily in Jamaica is where we were looking, and we were receiving tapes from everywhere. And Kingsley Ben-Adir had submitted a tape, and now he didn't have dreads on in the tape. I just saw a man that captured so much presence on screen, and I thought to myself, that's it. This guy has it.
And so when we auditioned and I saw Kingsley, who plays Bob, he was the one who kept my attention. You know? And all of us kind of agree, say, yeah, because you really need somebody who not just look, but can express, that can keep your attention when you're in the film.
What's interesting about Bob is that he's very specific. So because of his external persona, his toughness, tough gong general, Skip, that's what they called him, to find his vulnerability in a way that felt truthful took a lot of nuancing. You can't just put Bob in a scene where he's crying because it's not real, and that was the instruction from Jamaica. Bob's not soft. Bob's not soft, tough gun. As much as we like to put that on him, the instruction from Jamaica and the family was, you have to understand that this man was closer to a football manager in terms of his stance and his position. This is a guy from the street. Yes, he's vulnerable in his music, and yes, when he sings, there's nothing like it, and his lyrics are an open book. But as a guy, trying to find stories about when he was vulnerable around other people, you know, that was like so much of the research was that. It's like, who did see him cry? When was he? In private, who was he? So Ray and I, we really had to explore that and talk to people. We needed a lot of help. Without the Jamaican community, without all of the family and all of the friends who knew him, we would have been guessing.
It's a tough job. He had the toughest job on the planet. And I tip my cap to Kingsley Ben-Adir for what he did. But we had a soldier, so to speak, along for the ride. I had someone that was really, really deeply committed to really diving into who Bob was, his consciousness, the man behind the lyrics. That was Kingsley. He went so deep into this role. Very few people on planet Earth can do what he did, or even come close.
So he did a really great job, fantastic job. Because it's a very heavy load, you know. It's a very heavy load to play a man like my father.
What? Rita. Right, man. Wow.
Lashana Lynch is a generational talent, much like Kingsley Ben-Adir, an unbelievable talent.
Sound good.
I met the real Rita in person, and I saw her presence and her elegance and her strength. I said, okay, that's what I'm looking for. It was those characteristics when I was casting and found Lashana that I was looking for to capture.
There's two sides to this preparation coin. There's I'm an actor. Looking at the words on the paper, I'm trying to connect with them. I'm seeing what I can bring of myself to the role. And then there's being Jamaican and having made it a point to bring my culture into my work at all times. So when approaching the text, when approaching Rita, I had to make sure the culture was first. That's me as an artist and me representing her. In spending time with Rita at her home, I came in as someone who really wanted to show Rita that I was the right choice and I was gonna do right by her, I take this seriously, etc. And then as I spent time with her in this peaceful, wonderful, rich, calm setting, and I do that because being with her just feels so grounded. I was reminded that I'm a vessel for her. I'm a vessel for this portrayal of her. I have to be someone who's been given the spiritual opening to represent her.
And she kind of have a look like mommy too, you know? She kind of have a look like mommy. She's someone else just like Kingsley who really express it in a natural way where you believe, where you say, yeah, it's true,
Lashana's work speaks for itself. What she brought to set was an incredible spirit and a calmness that I needed. Whenever Lashana was on set, it was a better day. It was a calmer day. It was a more focused day. I can't really explain it. I looked forward to those days.
There were moments on set where I literally felt like I was Rita, the way that I was protecting that man.
I needed her there through the process. Like looking back, I was like, I needed her. She checked in on me constantly.
Have you had water? When did you last eat? Why do you look like that? Did you sleep last night?
That like she was always checking in and making sure that I was all right.
I was able to stay in it with him because of how removed he was in order to let Bob step in. And that's insanely amazing, but also so fascinating to watch firsthand.
I just love her. I can't speak highly enough of her, and her work in the film is just astonishing.
He's incredible. I didn't know that I would, yeah, I didn't know that I would I didn't know he'd be that way, honestly. He's incredible.
Tell me, what is this big sound you're thinking of?
One experiment and going a different dead space for this one. We really need to add another sound to the band. You can't think of anyone?
Leave it with me.
Love James. What a great actor. He really gave us a life to the party. I think he really represented Chris Blackwell so well.
I got involved end of last year, a call from Ray and a conversation, and it was a no-brainer. It was one of those kind of, one of those jobs. It was like a hand of aces. You're like, yes, I'm in.
James is great. We had a lot of stuff together, and there's a lot of stories about Bob and Chris's relationship, and apparently there was a real closeness, but they didn't really speak that much. So there was kind of an understanding that they knew what the other person was thinking, and they were mutually beneficial to each other. And there was a lot of stuff that Chris brought to Bob's life, and there was a lot that Bob brought to Chris's life. So there was a really unique bond between them.
To be a part of this project is huge. It's a massive privilege. We're in Jamaica, we're in Kingston. We are being guided by Ziggy, Bob's son. We have a real sense of the man and the community which he was a part of. Yeah, it's massive. I mean, Bob Marley's touched everyone's life in some way, and so this movie, it's about time a movie was made to celebrate him and his legacy and the insane imprint he's left on this world.
What's the meaning of this? Is that a joke to you? You're making fun sending me love notes.
We had beautiful actors, Quan and Nia, playing the young Bob and the young Rita.
I saw the casting call over social media, and I was like, yeah. It ticked all of the boxes. Being able to play football, guitar, singing, So I was like, this is interesting, I should try, I should really give it a go.
Ready? And action.
Having Jamaican heritage myself, it's always a blessing to get even just the chance to audition for a Jamaican character, a Patois-speaking character. And it was an extra blessing to audition for a character who's also Rastafarian, especially that's how I grew up. So it was kind of ticking all of the boxes, and it's been really cool to speak to Sadella and meet Rita whilst being out here in Jamaica. That's been one of my highlights, just to, be surrounded by the family, knowing that this is made with love.
Culturally, how that feels is crazy. And I've been hearing a lot of remarks about me looking like Bob and all of these stuff, and I used to be like, because it's a compliment, because he's the greatest.
And working with him has been so surreal in the sense that I always forget that I'm working. It was fun, it was just so much fun. He's never acted before, and I remember the first time we did a scene together, I was like, you've not done this before? Like, what? He was so giving, there was so much to play with. Yeah, so it's been a joy, it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been a dream. It's been a drift from the reality that I really knew,
It was truly a revolutionary experience for all of us.